soy Groot. Yo soy Groot. Yo soy Groot. Yo soy Groot. Yo soy
Hello, and welcome to PostGrad Movies. Today we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, Devil's Carnival,
Wait.
Birdman,
Whoa,
SpongeBob.
Whoa. What are you still doing here?
I live here.
You, you live here?
I'm a vampire. You invited me, and now I won't leave. I'm sorry.
Jeff, did you know that you sound like a drunk Master Chief?
I've never
That is the first time I've heard
heard
that.
that before in my life.
Like just
I
like
mean,
a
you
more
did.
stoned Master Chief. Like, yo, dude, there's grunts over there, but I'm just gonna like sit here in my scorpion tank.
And slowly spin the barrel.
Can you say finish this fight?
What?
Say
Oh.
yeah.
Fin-
That would have worked too well. Finish this stuff.
Dude, come on, let him do it. Come on.
Finish the fight.
Perfect. Oh my god, it's great.
Yeah. I have not heard that one before. I've heard Seth Rogen quite a lot, but
Really?
not Master Chief.
No, not. I wouldn't say Seth Rogen. I'll tell you why. Because Cognitive Gamer and I have basically we have imitated Seth Rogen a lot in this podcast, specifically because the Cognitive Gamer is awful at impressions, and it's really funny to see him get close to a good impression with Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Anyway, welcome to PostGrad Movies. We're joined. Cool Guy is here on our panel.
Yeah.
I'm joined by fellow journalist Jeff.
No,
God
damn it!
That is a
I'm
reference
not a journalist.
to the last podcast, so you should probably listen to that because we had an entire intro where the Cognitive Gamer got viciously attacked by Jeff and I.
So Jeff, is that like your pen name? Just Jeff.
Well, it's short for Jefferson, so
Oh, Jefferson. That's a cool name.
thank you,
So when you write an article and you publish it, do you write it Jeff or do you do Jefferson?
Jefferson.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. I guess.
Gotta-
I mean, that makes sense. I do.
At Cognitive Gamer, so people know to follow you on
I do
Twitter.
at Cognitive Gamer because it's real professional using your Twitter handle
Hell yeah.
in an academic journal.
Oh, come on. With the way that like the media is moving right now, people are basically going to start referring to themselves by their Twitter handles.
And the way academia is moving, we're going to be writing our articles on like stone tablets and chiseling it in. I'm just saying. Okay,
No,
well,
I definitely could see, like, in the bios of the writers of the journals or whatever, where there's a little about section, I could definitely see more and more people including Twitter handles.
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate, depending what journal it gets into, of course. So anyway, so we're just having a normal podcast this week.
Follow my lab at Bees Sex is Awesome.
That sounds terrible.
No, that
Like,
sounds awesome.
grade B sex rather than grade A sex.
Oh my god.
Are we talking about our weeks already? Is this what you did this week, cool guy? B-sex?
No, what? No, I did not. So, okay, yeah, let's talk about our weeks because this time we actually have a little bit of extra time since we're not inundated by news. So, Cognitive Gamer, Jeff, whoever wants to go first, how was your week?
How about you, cool guy?
Me? Oh, well, I didn't think I was going to be put on the spot like this. Well, the biggest thing that happened this week was that I took CPR training.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Yeah, actually, it was really enjoyable because I've already taken CPR training because I worked at a summer camp a while back, but my card expired, so I had to take it again. And this one was actually really fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know, it was fun to hang out with the other graduate students and all that jazz. Then after that, I figured out that I don't owe the university anything. I'm basically getting a full ride to study masters and whatnot, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you make out with any of the dummies?
Masters of sex.
No, I did not make out with any of the dummies, actually. But I kept on getting flashbacks of that one Office episode, which was hilarious. So I started singing Staying Alive, and it kind of became a thing. So,
Well, yeah, that's actually what they taught me when I had it. Did you have like the little baby dolls too, or no?
yeah, we did.
Okay, because those ones are creepy.
Yes, they are. The dude was
Yeah.
showing us how to do the Heimlich with the baby, and he just lifted it up. Not the baby, the actual little kid one. And he lifted it
Right.
up and put it on a chair, and he was just pushing it towards him, and I don't know. It was weird.
It is
It
weird.
was really
The
weird.
baby one, you just have to like slap the back as hard as possible to do the Heimlich on like an infant. So that's weird feeling too.
Have you had to do that before? Just slap a baby as hard as you can, COD games?
Not in real life. Not in real life. So CPR training wasn't a whole week, I assume. So what else did you do?
No. It was just one day. But apart from that, I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy early because I'm cool that way, and it was pretty
you.
nice. However, oh my god, I was getting used to going to movies alone or with my family, and we usually go to showings that not a lot of people go to. But oh my god, it's I forgot how annoying people can be in movies sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story of this lady with the husband who was sitting right next to me. Because the movie theater was surprisingly full for the time it was. And there was this older woman, not an old lady, but she was like 60 something or something like that. And that sucks that that's basically my parents' age. Oh my god, I hope they don't listen to this. So
They won't.
So
They won't.
so they were sitting.
They don't care about you enough.
No, they don't. So they were sitting right there to my left, and it was the woman and then her husband, and her husband did not understand English.
Oh, jeez.
And somehow, like, we had subtitles and all that, so it's not a problem, but somehow this guy apparently couldn't read either. Either that or his wife is just awful, because basically what happened was she narrated the entire movie. And when I say narrated, I don't mean right off the subtitles. No, we're not getting off that easy. What I'm saying she did is the people would... You remember that scene where they were all walking in slow motion? And they were sort of like walking in from on, I believe it was the Fireflies deck, and they were just walking out of their dorms. And they were walking down towards you, and it was slow motion. And she went like, they're walking in slow motion. Like, that was basically the entire movie, but it was like, the raccoon's wet. Stuff like that.
Whoa.
She was just saying what it was.
Was the guy blind?
No, he wasn't blind. He could see, and then she'd be like, the raccoon's wet. And then the guy would be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. And then she'd be like, he just said this. It was funny. And the guy would be like, like just laugh. But he wasn't, because he wasn't deaf and he wasn't blind. It was awful.
That happened to me when I saw the latest Hunger Games.
Oh, really?
Sitting in front and a little bit diagonal to the left of me was like this nearly blind abuela, and her like daughter or grandchild was narrating the movie to her. It was ridiculous. It's like, okay, here's President Snow, and he just said this, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I saw, what movie was it? It had Jet Li in it. It was one of his last movies.
Forbidden Kingdom, the one where he was the monkey?
No, the one I think right before that. And it was kind of like
Furious. Jet Li's Furious.
Something like that, right?
Okay.
But the whole thing was in like Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
And it had English subtitles.
Right.
But there were people there who only spoke Spanish. So they narrated all the things in Spanish.
Did you notice if it was good or not?
The narration?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know good Spanish from bad Spanish. I mean, I was trying to ignore them. So
right. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to a foreign film with English subtitles,
you should
probably know
how
to read, because that's like a waste of money. And as soon as the English subtitles appear, you should be like, well, I should go see another movie.
I should get a refund. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree.
But
and I'm
not saying like you're not invited to go see that movie or whatever, but I mean, or maybe movie theater should provide, alternative subtitles, which some of them do. You used to get like special glasses,
Oh, really?
I know, like IMAX at the museum sometimes does it, and you have like glasses, and they have like mirrors on them, and the subtitles are actually behind you, so they actually read them. Like at the opera and stuff, they have that too.
That is awesome.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. Well, yeah. Basically, that was my week. Just hanging out, trying to get stuff done for the university, just general stuff like that. So, any of you guys, what have you been up to?
I've been hanging with babies. So I'm gonna let you know.
Say babes, and then they're like babies.
Yeah, throws everybody off.
I was hanging with some hot chicks.
And you work in a farm? Yeah, it's that kind of joke.
Farm, yeah. Anyway, so I was, there's no better form of birth control than having to take care of 4 babies at one time.
Yes.
Like, that's just horrific. No human being should subject themselves to being around 4 infants at one time. Like, 1 infant, okay, that's totally doable. People have been doing that for centuries. But, like, 2 people with 4 babies, that's almost unmanageable.
And then you realize that the Octomom had 8 kids in one go.
Yeah, I don't know how she did it. How do you do that? Like, you'd have to hire help, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's got to be impossible. That's crazy.
Oh my god. It's like illegal, I'm pretty sure.
In China.
Oh.
Uh,
Was that all you did? Just gonna hang out? You got sick too, didn't you?
yeah, I had a cold over the weekend. So I went to Jazzercize.
Oh. Oh, you did.
So my mom's been daring me to go to Jazzercise with her for years.
Okay.
When I say years, I mean like literally like years.
Decades.
So eventually I was like, fuck you, Mom. I'm going to do it. And I did it. And I had fun. I shaked my booty.
I would imagine you.
But after you work out really hard, like it was a pretty intense workout. I was surprised. Your immune system drops. Well, I must have been fighting something because like as soon as I was done working out, I just got sick.
Ah.
But yeah, Jazzercise was fun. It was interesting. If you ever want to go someplace where there's a bunch of like 50-something old women dancing to a beat, yeah, that's where you go.
Jazzercise. Did you dress the part?
I wanted to wear a Speedo.
Oh, you should have.
But my mom forbade it. So
Did you actually go like, Mom, I'm gonna wear a Speedo? And she was like, actually, you are not.
yeah, pretty much that's how that went. She was like, where did you find a Speedo to fit your fat ass? And I was like, yeah, good point.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, my life is great. So I went to Jazzercise and I had a lot of fun, and then I got sick, but it wasn't like terrible. So I still like went on a boat.
It was just a sniffles, basically.
It was like I was really tired.
Lethargic.
I was also I had to do some PhD stuff, so I went to CSU and I met with a few people.
Oh, nice.
That was weird walking down memory lane and realizing how huge that campus is.
It is enormous,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Like I'm going to SJU now, and it's like 5 buildings.
Right.
And I go to CSU, and like walking underneath the Yates, which is like the chemistry lab building, and you're like, holy shit, this is a pantheon of education.
And did you get to see all of the new buildings?
No, Construction State University was in full effect.
They are enormous. Those buildings, all the new ones they're making, man.
I did see the new apartments that they're building, and those are really nice.
Yeah, they are.
So no, I met with some people, and then I went and looked at wedding venues, and that was fun.
Are you thinking about getting married in Fort Collins?
Getting married in Denver, so that's what eats up so much of my time because I have to drive down to Denver,
Right.
and then I have to drive back. So it's like a 4-hour trip. Anyway, yeah, Denver venues. The place I looked at was in a museum, so that was cool.
Night at the museum.
Not at the museum.
You're gonna be Ben Stiller.
Actually, no, it's right next to Fiddler's Green.
Oh.
So I'm really hoping like a Slayer concert the night of the wedding. So I can just get bored and then like walk outside and be like, yeah, rainy blood, Grandma! And walk back in and have her faint. Which is completely possible, which is crazy to even think that.
Right.
I'm all for it. Hell, if I want, I would have my wedding at a Slayer concert. That'd be fun.
Have Slayer play Canon in D while you walk down the aisle.
Man, I could never play that on Guitar Hero.
Instead of doves, it's bats.
It's all just sweeping. You're like, is this canon in D? No one cares.
That'd be great.
I'm just filling your head with awesome things, and that's just not going to happen.
That's sad that all of this sounds like the perfect wedding to me. So I don't know if the Catholic priest would approve, but
Catholic priest would be over there headbanging next to Slayer. You're like, this is the best thing ever.
And then I woke up. Yeah, that's my. I'm also packing to move, so I moved to Philly tomorrow.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So I start a 3-day journey across country. I hope to get tails, but it'll probably just end up with my father and I drunk, trying to get White Castle at 2:00 in the morning. So it's exciting. It's just facts.
As long as you're not drunk while driving, everyone, don't drink and drive.
That's true. I will not be doing that.
Especially across the country.
Right?
That's not fun.
You're
I've
like-
made that before.
Well, it even sucks because apparently there was just an article on the news last night or something, or like a news report thing. There's cops in other states pulling over Colorado license plates because of weed. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck
I saw
this.
that.
Yeah.
God damn.
And that also apparently gets really bad, I think, in Kentucky or Kansas or something like that, where apparently cops are known for pulling over out of state cars.
Right.
Yeah.
So I will be going the speed limit, and I will not be having weed.
You got to
So-
remove, how many marijuanas do you have in your car? Like 5 of them
Like 18 cents
of marijuanas?
weed. Marijuanas.
Holy crap, that's like
Marijuanas.
23.
It's like enough to get you low, you know?
Okay, so
Jeff, how was your week?
before
It was
before Jeff
oh,
starts,
go.
wait a sec. So I'm starting with the interruption just right now. But yeah, no. The point is, because of the fact that COG Games is going to be traveling across country, our podcast will be helter-skelter. This whole time, it'll be me trying to figure out my schedule at the university and him getting settled in Philadelphia. So our podcast, we will try and make it weekly, but it'll be pretty helter-skelter for a while. So we will let you all know when they're coming out and all that jazz. Keep up to date with it if you'd like, but just warning you that it's going to get more sporadic. So yeah, Jeff, continue. How was your week?
It was pretty good. Kind of just chilled. Not much happened. The highlight of the week was Guardians of the Galaxy. But what I did for the first time in forever was see it at a drive-in.
For the first time in forever.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I think the last movie I saw in a drive-in was The Nutty Professor.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was in a friend's dad's station wagon, and it had seats in the back of the trunk that
That's cool.
faced outward.
Oh, that's
So
Yeah.
he just parked in reverse and opened it, and we like all sat in there and watched it, and the speakers were still on like the poles on the ground and things like that. But here you do it through the radio, so
Yeah.
you don't hear anyone else, which is awesome. My car has an amazing sound system, so it was really nice. And my car seats are more comfortable than movie seats. And you can bring your own food and drink.
Mm.
Did you go
And
alone
so, yeah.
to the drive-in, or did you bring a
No,
sweet honey?
with my family.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome.
It's kind of like a sweet
But-
honey.
Is it?
Yeah, it was great. And then like the movie was over, and I just looked up and saw the freaking Milky Way right above the screen. It was awesome.
That is really cool. Was that
Would do it again.
the Fort Collins one?
No,
Oh.
down in the valley.
Oh.
10 out of 10. Would do again.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I've actually never been to a drive-in because I was born, and I think
What?
the last drive-in in Puerto Rico or something like that closed a
Ooh.
few years before I was born, which is really sad.
You never went to the one at CSU?
No, I was never able to go.
Man,
Oh, we should
I
have
didn't go either, but
because I haven't been to that one either.
I always forget. It's always like that thing that's like, oh man, we should have went to the drive-in tonight, or we should go to the drive-in tonight, and it's like 9 o'clock rolls around and be like, I'm too drunk to drive. So
Is it? It's more like I'm too tired because we're old people.
yeah, that's actually more. I was trying to seem cool and hip for the kids, but you know, whatever.
It's more like 9 o'clock. Time to turn in.
yeah,
Yeah, it was cheaper. You could bring your own food and drink, which was awesome.
So what food did you bring? 'Cause, like the
Uh,
highlight of going to the drive-in is bringing like an extra large pizza and like 10 tacos, 12
we
chickens.
brought a bunch of popcorn and candy, but it was like special popcorn that we made and seasoned it and stuff like that.
Ooh,
And
kettle corn?
no, not kettle, but just like buttery and other seasonings. And ginger beer, which I am
Oh.
addicted to.
That is just making me so hungry.
I love ginger beer. So Jeff, I saw on
Yes.
Facebook that you're unemployed.
Yes,
How's that going?
kind of sucks.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty much the same thing as I am because I'm technically unemployed as well. I'm helping out with the forest and getting a ton of experience there, but they're not paying me.
Yeah,
I know. But I
doing
was
some
going to ask, like,
volunteer stuff right now, but I'm waiting to hear back on an internship, which hopefully happens.
Oh, nice.
I was going to ask, is like, what's the next step for a journalist? Because I don't know, because I'm not one apparently, and
Internships are jobs.
Right.
not
you
freelance work, or do you do that?
Yeah, if I can get it. You really only go higher up with degrees and such if you want to teach. It doesn't really do you much good to keep studying when you could be writing articles.
Right.
I guess that makes sense.
The only reason why I've survived this long is because I had a good amount of savings that were supposed to last me all the way till now, and they did. And now I'm gonna start getting paid for my stuff at the university. So, awesome.
Thanks, Kickstarter.
You're right. All right, but anyway,
All right, so
the one thing
Start a Patreon.
the one thing that we all did together this week was watch Guardians of the Galaxy, which obviously was the highlight of a lot of our weeks since we talked about it. So let's go ahead and get
I'm
started.
just kissing my fiance.
Oh,
Seeing her beautiful body.
wow. That got a little bit more gross. All right, so on IMDb, Guardians of the Galaxy has an 8.9 rating. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 92 with an 88% top critic score, and on Metacritic, it's got a 76%. It is directed by James Gunn, and it stars the likes of Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Lee Pace, Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Digimon Honisu, and a bunch of other people. So,
Is that really how you pronounce that guy's name? Did you have to look that up, or did you just guess?
oh no, I guess most of the people that have like African descent names, I go like, "Da-ba-ba-ba," and I keep going. Yeah. So anyway, with that out of the way, Cognitive Gamer, give me your one sentence review.
Better than the Avengers. Jeff, your turn.
Marvel blockbuster perfection. And I'll also, this isn't mine. This is stole this from a comedian, Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
He's really hilarious. He said this on Twitter: Indiana Jones in space.
I could see that.
See, I saw it more as like 90s. It was more like this generation's Fifth Element. Because it was like sci-fi to the extreme of sci-fi.
I mean,
there were no women. I mean, it wasn't like,
a woman singing crazy opera that's impossible.
Yeah, or like have like weird blue tentacle things. But I mean, there were blue people and pink people, which is weird for Disney to do.
Yeah,
I guess
it seemed like a very Star Wars universe, which was really strange.
Totally, exactly. It was like Star Wars, but set in the 80s. It was like the future that we saw in the 80s actually became true.
Right.
Right.
Oh, so
anyway, your one sentence review, cool guy.
So my one sentence review would be pretty simple story, hard hitting characters, excellent execution. That's gonna. Yep, that's it. Yep. So, all right. So something that I actually missed in my week was that to make both of you jealous, I was gonna take a picture of the screen when it said Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
And it was really funny because there were like 3 or 4 people that worked at the theater at all points in the theater because it was so early. It was before the US even had got it. So they were posted there to make sure we weren't filming or whatever. And I just had my phone against my chest going like, almost. And then the title comes out, title card with him dancing underneath. And I click to take a picture. And all of a sudden, my phone switches the flash to automatic and it goes like flash. And I'm like, no. And it flashes really bright in front of me. And I just slam it against my thigh. And I'm like, nope, nothing to see here, people. And they look up trying to see where the flash came from. And I'm sitting there like, this is a great intro, everyone. Is it not a great intro? He's funny. So.
Did you see it alone?
Oh, yeah, I saw it alone because, most of the people that I was going to invite were working, so.
So were, like, the people next to you like, what the fuck?
I don't think they even noticed because it was the lady narrating the movie. She was like, he's dancing. Oh.
Hey, this guy's phone went off and it flashed.
Exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, let's get talking about the movie. First off, the thing that needs to be spoken about is Cognitive Gamer's definite infatuation with the fact that Chris Pratt appeared without a shirt and got doused in liquid like he thought it was going to happen, and we discussed last time.
Nailed it.
So, I mean, yeah, obviously. What did you think was going to happen? Chris Pratt lost weight. Do you think they were not going to have him shirtless to sell to a female audience? And I believe like 43% of the audience was female in the U.S., wasn't it?
He was shirtless in the trailer, so of course it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. I like Fat Pratt better, personally. But that's me.
But I mean,
my fiance fully enjoyed the shirtlessness of Chris Pratt. Yes.
I love how you say your fiance, but in your head you're like, me too, Chris Pratt, me too.
No, I don't like the abs on Chris Pratt. He was better as Fat Pratt.
Fat Pratt.
Fat Pratt.
I prefer Lee Pace.
Of course you do. By the way, the quote-unquote evil girl, the one that was blue and whatnot, was that
Nebula?
Yeah, Nebula. That was Karen Gillan, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she shaved her head.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan.
In
the chick from Doctor Who and the chick from Oculus.
Amy Pond. from Doctor
He
Who.
doesn't know her from Doctor Who, but Oculus.
Oh.
You remember
Wait, the red hair?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah.
really? Whoa!
Yep.
When she revealed it at Comic-Con, she was wearing a wig, and then she's like, "I'm Nebula," and then she took off her wig, and everyone freaked out.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Man, I thought it was somebody. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know it was actually Karen Gillan. So
Yeah, nobody probably did.
yeah, which now I know how to pronounce because.
Did you
thank
guys?
Robert.
Speaking of not knowing people, did you guys catch the Nathan Fillion cameo?
What? When?
He was the blue guy who gets his nose violated by Groot's fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I did not even notice that.
I did not notice that either until I went home and like, wait, wasn't Fillion supposed to be in this? And then I looked it up and yeah. And Rob Zombie
Yeah, Rob Zombie was in there.
also in it.
Yeah.
Wait, who was Rob Zombie?
He was the voice of the Ravager's Navigator thing.
Yeah.
Man,
the,
so
the
really
space
big part.
pirates. And then Seth Green was should I say spoilers for this part?
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers for post-credit scene if you haven't for some reason seen this movie already. Seth Green was Howard the Duck.
Yep.
Supposedly. Was that actually confirmed? I saw it rumored, but
It's on the IMDb page.
Oh,
So-
okay. Well, yeah, that counts.
And I think I saw it during the credits as well. Like his name.
Both of you, I want to ask you something very important. Who was your favorite character in the movie?
Rocket.
I was gonna ask that. And I think I'm going with Groot.
Groot?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be a little bit more, I guess, not choose the main characters because my favorite character was the one that I think his name is Michael Rooker, the one that plays the Merle in Walking Dead.
Oh
Dead.
yeah.
He caught me off guard because he started talking and I thought immediately he sounds really, really, really familiar.
Mhm.
You didn't know it right off the bat.
I mean, he was just a blue Merle.
Yeah, he was just a
Yeah.
blue Merle, but just I don't know, like the
Isn't
blue.
Mirror already blue and like a water type Pokemon? And
Like no, the blueness just threw me off. It was like when my little brother refused to eat rice because me and my mom were in cahoots and we dyed it blue, and he was like, "That's not rice." That's exactly how I felt. So
what?
that's a story for another time. But yeah,
Okay.
it didn't for just a split second. It didn't make sense. But then I was like, yeah, it's totally him. And then the rest of the time was me going like Merle, Durl, just trying to remember the name because I always get them mixed up in my head. But I thought that he was the coolest character out of all of them, especially as soon as he landed and did the awesome thing with his little floating stabby thing.
The arrow
His
thing.
weapon
yeah.
of mass arrow. Yeah, because he had been using it to threaten people the entire movie, and I was like, that's not so scary. And then he actually used it, and it was,
Yeah.
as a matter of
I
fact.
really wish I could whistle now and have that because that would be pretty awesome.
Hey, Jeff, you should whistle really quick.
I can't. I hate you guys.
I can't whistle like he whistled though. I can't like
Oh, yeah, without the tongue is what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, neither can I. That's cool. We just know how to use our tongue better. So, yeah, that was my favorite
That's
character.
what it is.
And how do you even talk about this movie? It was just awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so good.
It was Star Wars, right? Like it was
Yeah,
pretty much.
it was a space opera for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, we haven't had a movie like this in how long? I mean, that type of genre of movie has kind of faded out of popularity.
Yeah.
I mean, like that type of sci-fi was replaced by things like The Dark Knight, something a little more gritty and realistic.
Mm.
The last thing kind of that tried to do it was Total Recall, and the movie was terrible.
Which one? The Schwarzenegger one?
No, the
Or the
remake.
reboot? Yeah.
There's
Well, I mean,
Prometheus.
that doesn't count.
That was terrible.
No, it wasn't. But that's cool.
But you know what I mean? It's way more gritty, but there hasn't been something like this.
Well,
If that makes any sense.
Prometheus, you can't really lump Prometheus into this because Prometheus was more experimental sci-fi philosophy horror. You know what I mean? It was
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's almost the direction that sci-fi has gone for the last long time.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the last space movie. Maybe Riddick, but I haven't seen those, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, Riddick was more action movie though, like not really
Yeah.
space opera, just straight action. It was like action that just happened to have science fiction in it.
Mhm.
So,
No, I completely agree. Stuff has gotten a lot more gritty and more real. Like for example, District 9, which is a really great movie, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
it's gone in that direction. And I can totally see what's going on. Like this movie was more a space opera which delighted itself in the universe that it lived in.
Mm-hmm.
It was it
Yeah.
was fully in that universe, and there were characters and there were things that required no explanation. Like when they got into the head of the thing and it was the place, it was literally Tatooine. It was like, this is the most wretched hive of scum and villainy. You know, that's basically what happened. You know?
Yeah.
I can totally see what you're saying, that it's Star Wars and that it's also a completely different genre. Because a lot of these movies, they live in the universe, but it's almost like the universe is trying to be realistic.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess Star Trek would be the closest to what we've seen most recently, but that even has a different feel.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even that appears real, but in a real, like, farther down the road.
Yeah.
So
anyway, it's a great movie, great action movie. Didn't see it in 3D though, so
I mean,
kind of disappointed.
I heard not to see it in 3D.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't have anyways, but I heard the consensus on the 3D is not good.
that's what it usually is for literally every single movie except Gravity.
Sigh.
I know you like 3D Cognitive Gamer because you're a weirdo, but it's all right.
Hercules in 3D was pretty cool.
Did you saw Hercules in 3D?
I didn't have a choice. It was the only.
Oh,
That's sad.
that's awful.
Thanks.
I will though. Like I really like this movie, but I do have a criticism with it,
Okay.
which it sort of, depending how you look at it, isn't really a criticism.
Right.
It's that I wish I knew more about the characters,
Right.
that
Yeah.
they weren't so flat. Because with the Avengers, we had all of the movies leading up to this.
Right. Yeah.
With Guardians of the Galaxy, you don't get that. This is mainly Quill's story.
Yeah.
But not
But-
really even. If anything, I'd say it's closer to Gamora's because it's her family that she has to deal with and everything. Quill
Sure.
just kind of got wrapped up in it.
But yeah,
I feel like
so,
the next movie will be way more him because I think it'll deal with his father and his past. But
Mhm.
Spoilers, they kind of set it up in the end.
Yeah, so some of the things I didn't really buy just because from what was shown on screen, I didn't feel like the character development was really there. Like Gamora really quickly fell in love with him. It's like, what? I don't know. And
well, she didn't fall in love with him. She just wanted to kiss him because Kevin Bacon.
The comedy
still,
was
it's like
spot on in
they
that damn
met
movie. That was awesome.
2 hours ago, and even though she didn't quite fall under what do you call it, his pelvic sorcery, she was really close.
Right.
And also, like the villains, they're probably leaving this for the other movies, but Thanos, you just really needed to know that he was shown at the end of the Avengers, and he's just this big bad evil guy.
Right.
It was a lot more telling than showing. Like he's a genocidal crazy dude. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess that means he's evil, but it's like I wanted more. But so, like I said, that's not really a bad thing because I'm so hooked into this world that I want more. Like I am really tempted now to get all of the Guardians of the Galaxy comics and just read them.
Right.
But I think that's been like a common complaint of all the Marvel movies so far because like the Avengers was a generic space invasion,
The way that Marvel's doing it is they're doing simple stories that everyone can understand, but they're executing them really well. Because you can execute a simple story bad and you end up with a bad movie. But they're executing it very well because they have the budget and the writing and the know-how to do it. And
Right.
that's something that's really important. But I mean, you see stuff like this in normal space operas. The first Star Wars, the characters were a little bit flatter than they were in Empire. That's just how
Yeah.
it was. They had one thing that was going for them, one really big character trait, just like all of these characters in Guardians, and they used them to their full potential in that movie, and then they sort of started growing as the movies progressed.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
I'm really looking forward to that expansion and rounding of the characters.
Right. Though I did feel a little bit let down because them getting stabbed or them getting hurt didn't really affect me because I knew there was going to be a sequel.
Who getting stabbed?
Just people getting stabbed or shot or killed, not killed, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, like those kinds of death scenes, it didn't really faze me that much because you knew that they were going to survive. You know what I mean?
hmm
It was dampened. But I can
Not everything can be Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I can see why they're doing it, and I can see what they're doing. But that would be my one complaint is the fact that all of these characters were rather generic. Yes, there was a strong female lead, but who cares if she's generic? You got to write at least a little bit more of a complex character for all of these than just I want to get back at my daddy, you know?
Yeah.
And also, you had these characters which essentially had one thing that they told you about them. Every single one. One of them was like, this guy killed my family. The other one was like, I want money. The other one was like, I am Groot. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Right.
at least they had the motivations, and they were like solid. But yeah, it would be nice to have.
It was just
more.
mentioned, and then they went off it. It wasn't like
Mhm.
trying to establish stuff. It was more like, they killed my family. And then when he fought him, he was like, you killed my family. And then he was like, I don't remember them. And then it's like, again, fighting him, you killed my family. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I get it.
He's Indigo Montoya.
Exactly. But see, that was done a lot better. He kept on repeating it and he kept on saying it, but it was used as character development to give him strength from the people that had passed.
Can I just say that who else is surprised that James Gunn actually wrote this?
Yeah, right? Let's just go ahead and
Because
say.
he wrote Lollipop Chainsaw. The movie
What?
and the game was terrible.
Well, not
Are
just
you
that.
sure about that?
Yeah, James Gunn and Suda51 wrote Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's just mainly Suda.
No, they hired James Gunn.
I know James Gunn from Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Super,
Yes,
Scooby Doo, Slither.
And
He does a
and
and Lollipop Chainsaw.
and-
What? And what?
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
and he did the short that you hated, Cognitive Gamer, from movie 43, the one with the cat.
Yeah, that's
Movie
right.
43 was terrible.
James Gunn, just like he's very, 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 very offensive.
I liked Super, but yeah, it's
Or very explicit. I should I
Right.
should rather change that.
Right.
Like he doesn't hold any punches, but I'm guessing Disney had him by the James Gunn. So
Right. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
but it still shows in Rocket and Pratt.
Yeah, it definitely does.
yeah, totally. Like parts of it. I mean, having a pink girl wake up and being like, obviously that was a one night stand type of situation. So
Right. Though, honestly, the beginning of the movie when they had Chris Pratt walking around and just dancing as the credits
that
were
was so
rolling,
great.
awesome. Great introduction. It really set the mood for the entire thing.
Yeah, let's talk about the soundtrack.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
so good.
The
This is
soundtrack.
probably the best soundtrack of this type of music. How it's actual songs, not like the score or anything like that.
Right.
That I've heard outside of a Tarantino film.
And also, I mean, I would also
way
include.
better than Watchmen.
No, I would include Watchmen in
because
that.
that soundtrack was, I think, used to its deficit.
What?
Yeah.
Whatever. Nope.
Which part? I
Some of
forgot
it-
about the Watchmen soundtrack, but yeah, that was also a really, really good one.
It was
I
fantastic.
mean, it was good songs, but it used it almost like heavy-handedly for a movie that was all about subtlety. Like the whole hallelujah during the sex scene was just over.
Okay, yeah, that was a bit awkward.
Well, that's because the singer is one of those people that you hate because he just covers songs and all he does is speak. He's like, it's a cold and it's a broken. Hallelujah. And you're like, you're not even singing.
No, that's not. Anyway,
All right. Do you agree with the ratings? 8.9, 92, 88, 76. Which one are you closest to? What would you rate it?
probably 92.
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars on Netflix because yeah, I could see that movie any time, any day of the week.
On Netflix or on Flickster?
Netflix. I
I-
rate things on Netflix because I use Netflix.
But it's not even out yet.
You can still rate the movie.
Really?
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I had no
Huh.
idea.
Every
You
time I
do.
see a trailer, I just hit save DVD in case I miss it when it comes out in theaters.
Oh, that's really
Huh.
cool.
Interesting.
You learn something new every day. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rate it about like 90 to 95 or so. I would say
Right.
90. Yeah. Cuz like
Yeah.
it's one of those things
It was
where
simple.
I'm comparing it to stuff like X-Men Days of Future Past and that was gorgeous.
I would probably put it on par with that.
Really? I don't know cuz it was
Yeah,
to me it was too
Oh my
simple.
god, we're not having this discussion again.
To me it was too
This is the
simple.
second fucking movie.
It was
that
too
I've-
simple,
Ugh.
dog. It was too simple. All right, but
Well,
anyway.
which movie did I say was better than Days of Future Past? Because it's on par with that one.
What? Okay.
And you already yelled at me
All right.
about that.
Anyway, we're moving on. to our Netflix movie spotlight. Totally not sponsored by Netflix yet. Hopefully someday. So we have The Devil's Carnival. On IMDb, it's got a 6.6 rating from a lot of different reviewers, actually. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got nothing because it only has one review, and it's a fresh review. And on Metacritic, it's also got nothing. It is directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, and it is written, because this is important, by Terence Zundich, or Zdunich. He's got a really weird name. All right, but anyway, it stars Emily Autumn, Shem Andre Byron, Dayton Callie, Madison Carter, Sean Cran, Beach Eastwood, and a lot of other people, including the very own Terence Zdunich.
And Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yes.
Which really caught me off guard.
Yes.
For those who don't know, he is one of the brothers in what's the movie called? Boondock Saints. Yeah.
Yep. So let's do the one sentence review.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I actually watched it over my lunch break. So
okay.
That was interesting.
My my review is I did not know that Trips to Hell could be so dull.
Really? I thought it was very good. It was okay. So I might be a bit biased because Emily Autumn is like one of my favorite artists of all time.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Right.
So I love this gothic opera type of scenario. And yeah, it was pretty much just a ripoff of Old Tales, but I think visually it was what made the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's a short film, so there's only so much you can do. But I think it really played off the visuals more so than the story.
I will agree that the costume and sets were pretty cool. What's your review, cool guy?
So my review would be, in typical Bousman style, the directing is very helter-skelter, but the world that everybody lives in is just as crazy as you would expect. I will be elaborating upon that. But if you don't know Darren Lynn Bousman, he directed Repo the Genetic Opera. It was his passion project. I've seen Repo. You've seen Repo too, haven't you, COD Games?
No, I haven't saw the opera.
Have you seen Genetic Opera, Jeff?
No, I was going to after this because it was on instant Netflix for a while, but they must have took it off because it wasn't on anymore.
Right. So Repo the Genetic Opera is what the movie Repo Men, the big budget Hollywood one, is based off of, and it's basically...
Actually, it's not. I read up on it. They just happened to both come out at the same time.
Are you sure? Because if I'm not mistaken, they
I think it was based off a short story.
They either bought the...
No, there was no buying of rights.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people got upset and thought it was plagiarism.
Because it's basically the exact same story, except Repo was a musical, and it was a lot more stylish. Yeah. Repo was very stylish. It's the same type of world that this movie is in, though I enjoyed the songs in Repo more. But that's because it was more rock, and I really enjoyed that.
Also, they had a lot more time, right? Like, I felt like a lot of these songs were cut short just because it was not even an hour long. Yeah. Like, it was an episode of TV, essentially.
So let's actually get talking about it, because this is a very interesting movie. And I want to start with something, I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but when they first introduced the character of the devil, and he started talking, and I saw his face paint, I was like, I wasn't really into the devil character. But then as soon as he started reading the story to the little kid, that's when the devil character got awesome. And his makeup was phenomenal, and I really got into it. At that moment, I thought he was awesome. Easily the best character out of all of them. Easily.
I liked Emily Autumn, but I have like all her records.
You are
I really want to go.
She was the kissing girl?
Yes.
Was that her?
I don't know if she played her, but she did the song that she sang.
Yeah, no, she was the kissing booth girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
She's actually a world-class violinist. Who's actually, I believe, kicked out of Juilliard because of her gothic tastes. She's actually on Rob Zombie's label.
Yeah, right.
And does violin and does songs with her band, the Bloody Crumpets.
Yeah.
So, like, this whole thing was pretty much right up my alley. I was like, as soon as she started singing, I'm like, yeah, that's Emily Autumn, and I like this already. Like, I would not say everybody should see this, because it is not everybody's taste.
Oh, definitely not.
Like, this is super niche.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would almost say if you like Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, and you like The Devil's Rejects,
And
you'll also like this.
honestly, a stepping stone to this movie, if you want a really mainstream movie, it would be Saw 2 through Saw 4. They're all directed by Bousman as well.
Oh, good, the bad ones.
No,
Yeah,
well, no,
not the good one.
2 and 3 aren't bad. 1 is phenomenal. 2 is all right. 3 is better than 2.
I like 2. 3 was good.
But then
4
4
was
4 is
terrible.
where it went downhill. But that's
4 was weird. It tried to get experimental
Yeah,
with it,
well,
with the
yeah,
conjunctive
yeah.
storylines.
but 4
And anyway, yeah.
the reason why 4
I
got
love the scene transitions in 4, though.
Yes.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah. But the reason why
Anyway!
4 is terrible is because they forced them to keep going with the Saw franchise. That's why.
Yeah. What a bad reason.
But yeah, anyway, if you want a more mainstream thing, those are the movies to be seeing. So it's that style where they're not really like they live in the world that they are in. If you notice, Saw 2 was very stylish. The first one is noir, but then the second one was more really weird, sort of gritty style. It wasn't noir anymore. And that's basically what it is. It lives in this kind of world. But if you want a more obvious kind of thing that you can compare it to, Repo. Totally Repo.
Or Shadows of the Damned if you like Suda 51 games, which I'm obsessed with as well. So
yeah, basically it's gothic style dancing, pirouetting. But what I enjoyed the most about it was the fact that in the beginning it took I had to get used to it. But it's the idea that everything was basically theatrical.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the acting was very theatrical.
this was definitely meant to be on a stage.
Yeah,
I feel,
for sure.
but it almost seemed half baked, and that just because it is a short
Right.
film.
Yeah.
So it's like, why did you do this idea? I guess it's the only problem I had was why does this exist?
That's also what he did with Repo. Repo was originally a short film and then it got expanded into a full feature.
Okay,
So
maybe that's
yeah.
But this one never got
No.
popularity.
No. He wanted to make it like episodes. He wants this one to be sort of episodic, but it'll
Okay.
be short films. And he's actually already filming the second one.
Okay, I mean, I so the second one will be spoilers, like a war then.
Yeah. So the
Between
second,
heaven and hell.
yeah, basically it's him, the devil, pardoning souls and sending them to heaven.
Yeah,
Okay,
but then the
so-
devil was like, "Yo, we don't like God now, so we're gonna
Right. Yeah. They're just gonna wait.
attack."
Yeah, that
That'll
would
be
be
okay.
really interesting because it's really cool that all of the people are in a carnival and they have to follow rules, but then in heaven, all of the people, quote unquote, that are in heaven or that got made by God are marionettes, and it's like free will ? Because the devil has complete free will as long as you abide by rules. He just tempts you. The God, however, has marionettes all over, and you're like, who's better?
It's kind of a damned if you do or damned if you don't scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay, so can I rip this to shreds now?
Go for it.
So yeah, as I said, it was very dull. It was so slow. It took at least like 10 minutes to get to the first song,
I agree.
which for a musical is too slow. And then the song was just saying it's the Devil's Carnival, which you know because of the movie.
Yeah.
Of the name, and it was on the book, and you had the title card and all that stuff. So it was so redundant.
Yes.
Like with the first fable, he would read the story, and then you would see it acted out, and then the hobo told the song of the story. So it was like telling you the same thing 3 different times.
Yeah, they all had the song of the story said after the actual story took place. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the songs were not catchy or memorable, I feel like. If you're making a musical, that should be the number one thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm glad it was only 50 minutes.
I mean, that's fair.
Jeff is not a fan of gothic opera.
Well,
Yeah, like I said, this movie was not for everybody.
yeah.
And I am a weird person with my tastes.
Yes, you are.
But no,
So-
I mean, I really enjoy musicals. Like you mentioned Dr. Horrible. I could sing any of those songs. And yeah, those are memorable and stick in your head. And
Yeah, but even that's like a completely different style
It is.
as this. I feel like because I'm going
but
off of
see,
like what I
style
know from
doesn't
Emily
matter
Autumn. Is that like?
if it's executed poorly.
But I feel
Like
like
if
the
it wasn't
execution.
redundant, I would have liked it.
But what's wrong with the redundancy was pretty much to show you the analogy that was happening between the tales and the people.
It was
And then the
okay.
song
Yeah.
was
Let's I can actually explain it really well because of the whole theater aspect. Basically what they were doing at the end, the entire carnival was essentially the quote unquote town character, which after every single scene or after most, I guess, interactions between certain characters, the entire quote unquote town, which is a choir, will come out and sing about what you just saw. And they do that all the time, from back in the day to a lot of the not really modern musicals, but up until about Stephen Sondheim, he has a lot of town characters that he had, including in Sweeney Todd. It is a specific storytelling apparatus. Just in case you didn't really get what was going on because they sang the whole time, you'll have a character or a bunch of
But
characters
they also
literally
read it.
It is redundant. It is, but
it beats you over the head.
It
like,
is.
yeah, town character I can understand, but they weren't being subtle about it. So yeah, I do have one question. It was clear why the thief was there,
okay.
but I couldn't tell why the father and let's call her the frog, because that was her fable, why she was there.
The frog was there because she gave in to temptation all the time, even when she shouldn't. She was gullible, she was naive, but she relished that fact and she didn't try and change herself. And the father was there because he gave into grief, and that was his specific fable. It was basically don't give into grief, and he let the death of his child take him so much and just envelop him to the point where he committed suicide. And suicide is one of the crazy sins where, yep, you're going straight to hell.
Okay.
So there's one of those. Which is interesting that the only person that actually committed suicide was the one that, spoilers, got sent to heaven. So, I mean, it's a really interesting take on it. And did any of you guys see, if you listen to the songs in the credits and whatever, about halfway through the credits, they had an entire other song, which was the girl that got, spoilers, killed by the Scorpion character. They had her come back to life because they mentioned that, come back to life, quote unquote, because they mentioned that they would be forced to live in the carnival and relive their fables over and over and over again. And she got brought back to life. She had a solo number, and then the devil started duetting with her, and the devil basically seduced her, and she fell for it again.
Yeah, I did not stay that long.
Yeah.
As soon as the credits were done, I switched it off.
Right. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where, yes, it's redundant, but that's the point. It's just like Dante's Inferno. People roll the boulders up the hill, and then they roll the boulders up the hill, and then they roll the boulders up the hill. You know, it's punishment.
But see,
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
There it means more.
It was a little bit boring at times. Yes, definitely. I can understand that was the point, but again, the way that it was executed, how I said in my one sentence review, is sometimes a bit iffy.
Yeah.
He usually has really fanciful ideas, but then gets lost in the execution. And by the way, the writer was the devil. How cool is that? Yeah. But anyway.
Okay.
So, new to DVD and Blu-ray and theaters is in our next section. New to DVD and Blu-ray, we have Divergent, Oculus, Need for Speed, 12 O'Clock Boys, Ping Pong Boys, 2 of them with boys, God's Not Dead, and I'll Follow You Down. Then in theaters this week, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 100-Foot Journey into the Storm, Step Up All In, What If, and in limited release, The Dog and About Alex. So, apart from Oculus, there's really not
Teenage
much
Mutant Ninja Turtles
going on. No, dude. No.
Come on, man.
Sucks.
No.
He's only producing it.
No. It doesn't matter. His money's flowing in. He has a lot of influence. Producers have influence and they have pull. That's why when it's like produced by Steven Spielberg, people take notice.
Well, and it's Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's get talking about news. And we actually had a couple of Guardians of the Galaxy news, which are pretty obvious, is that it broke box office records. I mean, honestly, the analysts kind of lowballed it. I would have expected it to make a crap ton of money because everyone was excited about it, but nobody else.
Talking raccoons.
I mean, fair.
So yeah, by a lot of money, we mean 94 million.
That was just opening day, wasn't it?
No, that's opening
the weekend, which was the most in August ever. The previous record holder was the Bourne Ultimatum from 2007, which only made 69.2.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like you said, how they lowballed it.
Right.
It was originally projected to gross
60
65 to
70
70
million, yeah.
when here in the US, and it ended up making 66.4 overseas, which
Oh,
is crazy.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly to be expected. You know what I mean? I don't know why
Marvel's
they.
a machine.
Yeah,
You cannot stop The Rock, man.
of course. All right. I mean, apart from that, we also have one more Marvel news, which is talking
Yeah.
about the character of Rocket Raccoon. So, can you shed a little bit of light on that, Jeff, please?
Yeah, I saw this link floating around this weekend since, Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that. The creator of the Rocket Raccoon and Incredible Hulk, his name is Bill Mantlo. Apparently in, when was it, 92? He was in a car accident.
Oh,
So since then, he has been pretty much severely handicapped from brain trauma. And so if you really enjoyed Rocket Raccoon in this movie, you can donate to help him since he can't really do anything.
right. And I will add a link in the description of the podcast in case you all want to donate, or if you want to send letters, they have his address there, so you can totally send him letters and thank yous and all that jazz, make him feel good. He has written some pretty emblematic characters, so that's really cool.
Yeah, Hulk and Raccoon.
Yep. All right. Next bit of news is the fact that Sony is planning a female-led Spider-Man film. And when I mean Spider-Man spin-off, not Spider-Man film, Spider-Man spin-off. When I say that, I mean it's in the style of Sinister Six or the Venom movie that they're planning. And it might have someone like Black Cat. It's one of those things where it's going to be its own character, but I think that right now, sadly, Sony is grasping at straws because they kind of botched Spider-Man.
I liked the newest ones with Garfield. It's definitely making up for
What, the third one?
2 and 3.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa!
3 for
Okay.
sure.
Two
Yeah,
was the
two was
best
good.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
2 was easily the best Spider-Man. Yeah. 3 definitely. 3, but that's the reason 3 was not as good is for a lot of reasons that I'm not going to get into. But I completely agree, and I really want to see, honestly, in my personal opinion, I want to see Sony succeed with Spider-Man. Not Sony, not because they're freaking Sony. I want Spider-Man to succeed. I do. I really do. And I want to see a lot of other superhero movies that don't follow the normal, I suppose, Marvel formula, which is why I really enjoy the Spider-Man films because they're very comic booky. And that's also why I enjoy the Zack Snyder films because they're stylish, but not as dark as the Dark Knight and that type of Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, I would definitely see a Black Cat solo film.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I mean, it depends on who it was written by, but yeah, I would see it too. I would love seeing it. I just hope that they don't botch it. I'm crossing my fingers, but
Hey, any female lead in a movie, in a superhero movie, is great.
no, because they
Yes.
can really make it awful.
I mean,
Halle Berry.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
But let's try it again.
This time with a little bit more bravado. I agree. All right. So anyway, next bit of news is the fact that Bill Murray is going to play Baloo in the Jungle Book movie.
So it's not going to be Garfield? Can he just jump ship like that?
I mean, yes. I don't know. I don't know why they're making the Jungle Book because it was such a great movie. You know, the one that Disney made.
Well, they need to get rid of the casual
Well,
racism. So
What's crazy is that there are 2 in production.
Really?
So there's this one.
And
This one is directed by Favreau.
Okay.
And it also has Christopher Walken's going to be Louis.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley is going to be Bagheera.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Idris Elba as Shere Khan. Scarlett Johansson as Ka. Lupita Nyong'o as Raksha.
Yeah.
And Giancarlo Esposito as Aquila. But then the other one, the cast hasn't been announced yet, but it's WB, I guess, is doing it.
WB.
Yeah, and it's directed by Circus.
Andy
Andy
Serkis?
Serkis. Yeah.
Huh. That's
That's
The
all
Circus
I know
Circus?
about it. But
wow. That's really
So-
weird. I mean, I guess it's the exact same as Hercules because they had the really crappy Hercules and then
So is Disney making this?
whatever
yeah,
Hercules.
Disney's making the Favreau one.
So
I
is this like live action or is this CG? Or
Live action
CG for the animals and then live action Mowgli.
Yeah.
is the jungle real?
I don't
Probably
know.
not. Probably not. Let's get real here. With the way that Disney's going, no way.
Okay.
I hope the CG is not super cartoony though. Like, make it sort of more like a Life of Pi CG.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to do that. They specialize.
So this is like Maleficent
Yes, I can guarantee that it's probably going to look like that.
or Alice in Wonderland 2, which also just started filming. News.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well.
interesting.
Through the looking glass. All right. Next bit of news is that Universal. Remember how I mentioned last week that they were doing a monster-centric universe? Well,
Yep.
they are starting their monster universe with The Mummy. That's gonna be the first one. However, it has nothing to do with the
With
original.
Brandon Fraser.
Yeah, with the original Mummy films, and it's going to called Universal's Mummy: The First Monster.
Yeah, because Universal is what had all of those classic monster movies.
Right. Well, The Mummy was like an old 1930s film.
Yeah, so
correct?
it's going to that Mummy, not
Right.
the,
So it's like
yeah,
The
the other
Mummies
one.
2, not the Brandon Fraser
Getting chased by the
Mummy.
sexy
Mummy.
Egyptian mummy. Yes. I love how you both just don't talk to me. You're like, what? That wasn't sexy. But yeah, no, the dude was totally walking around shirtless and seducing women. Of course it was.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah. The next bit of news is that Paul Feig is in talks to direct a Ghostbuster reboot, except that it is going to have all of the Ghostbusters be women.
Yay!
No.
Ellen Page, and then we're gonna have Emma Stone, Ellen Page.
No, it should be Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Now they're maybe Tina Fey, maybe.
Okay, so he directed Bridesmaids and The Heat. The Heat was stupid.
I like The Heat.
See, the only thing, like,
The fat girl from The Heat will be in it.
yeah, because they're married, and I freaking hate her.
Really?
She's
Really?
not funny.
She's like the
Melissa
best part.
McCarthy.
She's very hit or miss. I will admit that. But come on, in Bridesmaid, she was great.
In Bridesmaids,
The
she was
Heat,
great.
she was the best part.
In Bridesmaids, she was
not
hilarious.
seen
And
Bridesmaids.
Tammy,
You haven't
Tammy
seen
was bad.
Bridesmaids?
No,
That movie is good.
I've mean to seen it. Yeah, I've heard good things,
Yeah.
but I just can't stand Melissa McCarthy.
oh, it's wrong.
Like Identity Thief, and what was that other one that you said? Not
Yeah.
The
Tammy.
Heat. Tammy.
The Heat.
Yeah,
It's like every other year she has a good movie.
all terrible. She's
It's
not
time
funny.
for a bear sandwich. Oh man. She is funny, and she'll be great as the Marshmallow Man who attacks Manhattan.
Now that I would watch.
All right, so
I'm just kidding. She's great.
we're
She'll
gonna-
be great as
we're
Bill
gonna
Murray.
leave with that. We're gonna leave with that because that was some really great wrap up. So next bit is that Tim Burton released a couple of photos for his new movie called Big Eyes, and it has Amy Adams who is playing the main character. It's a
Wow.
biopic.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, it's a biopic of an artist called Margaret Keane, who got really famous for putting big, like her art style was drawing normal people with enormous eyes. And I will actually send you the link right now.
So wait, do you say biopic?
Biopic.
Yeah, it's biopic.
I don't want to hear it. I mean, it looks really interesting, and it looks not very Tim Burton-y, which is cool.
No, I want Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton.
I mean,
Even though he didn't direct it, I get it. Still,
honestly, though, it's going to get really creepy really quick with these enormous eyes.
I don't think she's a painter. How creepy can it get?
Are you serious right now? Okay. So,
They all kind of look like Elizabeth from BioShock. All right, anyway.
yeah, anyway, next bit of news, and I believe the last one before our trailers, is the fact that Studio Ghibli is taking a break.
That is
Aw.
not news. That is a rumor.
That is, well, no,
Nothing has been confirmed.
they definitely put a link on Studio Ghibli's Twitter where they said that they were taking a short rest.
Because they were rumors all weekend about them being closed and them stopping animated feature films, and neither of those are true.
Right, they're just taking a rest.
Yeah, they're taking a rest. Yeah, they're not disbanding or anything. It is basically them saying we are taking a break from films. And I mean, in all honesty, it makes sense since Miyazaki retired. So,
Well, he's retired like 100 times,
Yeah.
but maybe this time he's actually serious about it. So now they're trying to recoup
right, yeah, definitely.
because he's been in charge of every project pretty much out there since
yeah, exactly.
Spirited Away.
Right.
Yeah. So
So wait, where did you see this?
Where did I see what?
This thing about not being here or being done? Was it from an official account?
They have a link from Anime News Network and Kotaku.
Someone translated it wrong from this Tumblr saying they're done, and they're not. While the original reports were quick to say that it was a total shutdown,
Okay.
it's not that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
it's
They said it's a total shutdown, and then they went all the way down. And if you read the update on the bottom, it says no, it's a short rest. So they said please read the updates because we were wrong.
Yeah.
still news.
Yeah. Definitely, it's very controversial, and it's not.
I'm a journalist, Jeff. I know things.
Yeah, because I knew one of you guys were gonna say Studio Ghibli's done, and that's not true.
Yeah, it's not that they're done; it's that they're taking a hiatus. That is the news. So we are done, and we're moving to trailers. So let's do SpongeBob and Birdman since you saw those. So SpongeBob,
Okay.
what did you think?
The first movie was pretty underwhelming, and I would have to say this movie also looks underwhelming, just from the trailer.
Really?
I don't know. I haven't the new SpongeBob I've kind of fallen off of. So if it's in that vein, maybe not. I love the look though.
It does look really great, doesn't it?
It looks great, and I'll see it probably just for that because that. Oh man, it is pretty.
That CG is pretty great too.
Oh my god, it's amazing. But I'm worried that it's like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, right.
But I'm hoping that it's the entire movie like that. But we'll see. Jeff, did you see it?
Yeah, SpongeBob. Sort of echoing what you said. I just kind of nah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still making SpongeBob episodes. To be honest, I thought it was done.
Nope. Can't stop the rock.
You people
Birdman,
are disappointing. Birdman though,
Birdman looks awesome.
Awesome. It looks awesome.
It looks thought-provoking.
It looks the acting and the tension and the buildup of what the hell is going on in this dude's head is so cool.
There's just something about like that washed up angle that is just I'm really into. Like it's relatable and it looks really cool.
All right. The next trailer is for The Longest Week, which the Cognitive Gamer hasn't seen. But Jeff, what did you think? I don't know. It's whatever. Jason Bateman, I really didn't.
I thought it was pretty charming. It reminded me a lot of a Woody Allen film.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I mean.
Seems interesting.
That's about as much as I would be able to give it. And the last one is Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, which is the third Night at the Museum. And I thought it looked whatever. Same as the other Night at the Museum. It's like. Yeah. It seems like a fairly generic
sequel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, Night at the Museum 1 was in the museum. The second one was in the museum. Let's move it somewhere else. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Meet the Fockers in a museum. Perfect.
Yes, move on. Exactly. All right. But yeah, with that, we are done. So thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us for these 2 podcast episodes. Again,
Jefferson. He goes by Jefferson on his official work.
Again, to reiterate, our podcast will be kind of weird for the next couple of weeks or something like that, so stay tuned for that. But again, thank you, Jeff. Awesome times, awesome stuff.
You.
If you want to be a guest on the podcast, let us know through the Facebook page, facebook.com/postgradent or postgradentertainment on Facebook, or you can email us at postgradentertainment@gmail.com. We also have a YouTube channel where you can basically watch all of the old podcasts that aren't hosted on Podomatic or through iTunes. And that you can just find it by typing in PostGrad Games, and we have everything there, including gaming videos. Cognitive Gamer, you can follow him at Cognitive Gamer, me at The Right Pad. And yeah, give us comments, critiques, things to do, movies to watch, and all that jazz, and we'll be sure to get back to you. The hub for us is our Facebook page, so anything that you want to know, anything you want to do, anything you want to write, even if it's homophobic rants like that one terrible person, you are more than welcome to right away on our wall. So,
and if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at Geiger JD.
Exactly. Yep. So again, thank you everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Games.
Did we do my Twitter? It's at Cognitive Gamer.
Oh, just
he already said it.
Self-promotion.
I know.
Both of them.
I know, but I'm just saying.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you all, and to bid you adieu,
Jeff,
we have.
It wasn't. I knew he said it already. Oh.
We have a song from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That metaphor went over your head, didn't it?
Hopefully we don't get sued. See you all and enjoy the song from the Avengers. from I am whatever. See you guys later.
Editing that part out. More than needs to be.
Oh my god. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Spider-Man.
Spider Pig, man. Spider Pig does whatever Spider Pig does.
Oh my god.